Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft 2 video. This video is going to cover my continued run in this tournament on my way to hopefully face IdrA. Here's IdrA right here, 2-0ing his way right through the field. And if I do get to face him, it will continue that way. He'll still keep 2-0ing everyone. But it would still be awesome to face him. Anyways, yeah, made it past Super Noob fairly easily. He's a gold level player, high gold I think. But in playing him, it didn't actually feel like I was playing a lesser player. And in watching the replay, he does alright, and then there's just some gigantic glaring errors in this game. And so I figured I'll cast one of these matches, and I'll just kind of go over things to do and things not to do, and it probably should apply to a lot of you if you happen to be at the bronze to gold level. It doesn't actually take much tweaking to your game to get to really elevate it to a higher level. Doesn't take any sort of like crazy hand speeds or really intelligent thinking. It's just some basics. Anyways, and then next round was round 3, which sorry, we'll add that so we can see it here. There we go, round 3. And this is versus Want Beats, which I just played tonight and just finished casting those games. So he is a high Masters League player. This is going to be the biggest hurdle on the way to IdrA. However, he's a high Masters Zerg, so I can always pull that Raven build out of my hat. It's beaten a Grandmaster before, so I don't see why I can't beat a high Masters as well. And then if I do make it to round 4, it will be against either Webbs, who's a mid-Master Zerg, or Moose, who is a high Diamond Protoss. So not as big of a hurdle as round 3, and of course if I make it to round 5, I'm facing IdrA, which would be awesome. So, we'll jump right into it. We'll do one match versus Super Noob. Obviously this is a little spoiled, you can see I won 2-0 and I moved on, and then we'll do the entire series versus Want Beats. And yeah, and then we'll call it the end of this video. So here we go. Alright, so we are on Tal'Darim Altar. This is Super Noob, the red Terran spawning the top right hand position, and in the bottom right we have myself, Ketroc, the green Terran. This is game 2. I'm not going to be casting game 1, as I don't think these games are that interesting. However, in the description I'll put the link to all the games in this tournament, just so you can, if you're interested, you can watch the replays yourself. So game 1, I actually did Mass Banshee, like my Sky Terran build, and I got a really good Banshee harass, and I was actually quite proud of myself with my Banshee control. I didn't lose many, if any, and then stuff just pushed, and then more or less ended the game there. Taking a while to put down my supply depot. As I don't play this map, I'm trying to figure out how to wall this correctly, so I'm like, I don't have grid set up, so I'm kind of counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I want to get a solid seal. Yeah, so the game 1 I did Sky Terran, and often when you're in a best of series, you feel almost obligated to do something different the next game just to mix it up. But I don't want to risk something cheesy or risk something that I'm not experienced with, because I feel I'm the better player anyways. And he hasn't proven he can beat this build. Also, this map is quite good, I think, for my Sky Terran build. It's a long rush distance, wide open map, so since I don't actually rush, it hurts him. I'll be able to see the rush coming in from further away and prepare for it, or intercept it with some Cloak Banshees and pick away at it as it's moving in. Also, the large maps favor my harass style with my fast units of Banshees, and in this natural expansion is also pretty wide open in the back, so I can basically fly straight in and put on some good Banshee harass there. Doing a little trick here where I build half the supply depot just to keep him from scouting, so even if he scouted my base first, he would not have arrived in time to get in. You know, I'm just kind of picking away at his wall. And doing my standard orbital after command center, then refinery, sorry. Barracks, refinery, then orbital when barracks is complete. Oh, no, you don't want to do those fights. Whenever you're in an SCV fight, or an SCV versus drone fight, you both take the same amount of shots to kill, which means you have to be very careful, look very carefully and see whether you're actually going to win the battle or not. If it looks like he's the one hitting first, then you got to pull back and get out. In fact, it looks like I even got a full extra shot in, so 10 hit points, so a little bit of a fail there from Super Noob. So we'll speed it up a touch. A little worried about this here as there's no real high ground, so I'm going to have to get a bunker for sure. I don't even think I'm going to consider not getting a bunker. Ah, boo. Almost got it. So I'm going to put one Marine at the Zelnaga between us, and then another Marine outside of his base, just to keep a spot on his front line. And just kind of messing with him here a little bit. So this way I can see the push coming as soon as it comes out of his base. One thing I want to start doing now is using the camera hotkeys. I think it's set up as F5 to F8, but they work the same as regular hotkeys. You can go Shift F5, and then to save like this view I have here, and then if this Marine ever gets attacked and I'm far away, I can just hit F5 and it'll jump right here. Also suggest remapping those keys to F2 to F5, just to keep it a little bit closer, assuming you use the left hand for the keyboard. Not quite sure why I did this, but I decided just to take a Ninja Expo. I figured there were so many of them, the odds of it getting caught is unlikely. So I think these are ones he might take, these are ones he'll expect me to take. This one's right in the middle. That's a baby bear's porridge right there. And get my double Banshees out. However, I realize I don't really have any defense here in terms of missile turrets. I got one up for Banshees, but yeah, I'm a little bit worried about Blue Flame Hellions coming in. So I have this for vision, so I decided to set up this for vision as well. It also blocks the expansions, and if he goes Banshees, it'll Banshee or drop, it'll intercept and kill, do some damage to it. So here we go to begin the harass. I'm going to try to come in from two sides, see if I can control that, but I do notice the two starports here, which is a little bit different. Oh, it looks like I didn't pull that Banshee back far enough when I switched to the other one and it got sniped. Not good. The cliff edge, you can kind of use the extra range you got on your Banshee, although at this point I gotta get the heck out of here. Okay, yeah, I got cloak, but still, this is not safe. And I even failed to misclick that SCV, so if we bring up the units lost tab, you can see, well, he's lost more, but it's not that great considering I don't have much of an army. So I have intercepted his Banshees, so he obviously doesn't have much of an army either, and yeah. Losing two Banshees is probably even. It was probably losing this stuff that hurt him. And if you notice, this air turret is gone. He wasn't noticing, and he had two Banshees attack it, so he lost one Banshee there. And now I got an Expo, and he doesn't. So I think I spotted that. Did I spot it? Yes, I spotted it. So I'm sending out my Vikings. I'm like, oh god, he's going to go around the Zelnagas, and he's going to catch this expansion. I was like, run, you stupid Vikings, run. Can't let him spot it. Make him turn around. Turn around. Run away. Run away. Damn it. So I did snipe the Vikings, or did snipe the Banshees, but he knows of my Ninja Expo, which isn't good. And I'm taking my natural at this point as well. I do have all these SCVs I want to transfer. I'd only transferred a handful over here because I figure transferring across the entire map probably isn't the most economical thing to do. At least not initially. And noticing this coming over, so I'm quickly running over here. I did set up a couple bunkers. I don't like the positioning though. I probably just sort of set them up front, because he's going to get to fight them one at a time. So I do save the Expo. But yeah, I feel like it's only a matter of time before this thing falls, because it's so hard to protect this base, especially when I have no real army, and it's an orbital command. I assumed it was going to be hidden, so I didn't make it a fortress. And the SCVs are doing a dance. So you'll notice I'm on 3 base, and he's on 1. And in terms of strategy and control, this hasn't been that like, you're not noticing a huge skill difference between the two of us here. We're both making attacks, and we're both kind of failing here and there, but more or less being alright. You know, he's getting Ravens to deal with the Banshees and a lot of Marines. This is okay. The problem, and this is the biggest problem I see with anyone at gold level or below, it's the harvester count. I mean, he stopped at 20 harvesters. That's terrible. Basically, if you play Terran or Protoss, I would say get non-stop harvesters until at least 70. Minimum 70. You can go higher if you want, but then you kind of got to balance your army versus... obviously, workers beyond 70 is a good thing for your economy, but then it's eating a little too much into your 200 supply maximum. But 70 is the absolute minimum. Just pump non-stop, because now look what's happened. He's 3 bases versus 1. And he hasn't done that but poorly, but he's basically lost the game just for not getting harvesters. And when I'm playing this game and I'm feeling his engagements, it doesn't feel like his skill level is that much further. Like, this, I think, is like the biggest difference between gold and below. Even killing everything there. I mean, that was a pretty good engagement for him. I got the Ravens, but that was more or less it. And he's going to be able to come here and shut down this Expo. But he's already lost. He's one basing with 20 harvesters. And of course, as you're getting 70 harvesters, you don't want to be one base. And the whole point of it is like, once you hit around, you want to get your expos up as quickly as you can safely do so. Alright, I saved my refinery though. That thing's going to be safe for a good amount of time. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, you want to expand as much as you can, as long as it's safe and it won't cost you. Unless you're behind, in which case you gotta take risks and like put up like ninja expos and hope they stay alive. Put up gold expos and hope they stay alive. Yeah, and your economy will get out of control, and like that alone, it won't even matter what army compositions you're making or how bad your micro is. You'll just roll through everyone straight to Platinum League. Beyond that, you might need to make some of the other skills as well, but making harvesters, that alone will get you so far. And I've been failing huge. The fact that I was up 47 to 20, like normally at this point in the game I'd be around 65. This game just felt really sloppy for me, and I wanted to go back and check it to see why I was just like winning so convincingly when it felt like I was playing so bad. Because it didn't feel like he was doing anything poorly until I watched the replay and realized, yeah, he just had no economy whatsoever. So this push obviously isn't going to work, although I did kind of lose a battlecruiser for no reason there. Whenever you make these big chunky units, one of the biggest advantages of them is if they do 400 damage and then doesn't kill it. It's like a complete waste of all that damage output. Same applies for like Thors and well, I guess that's about it, 'cause both those guys can be repaired. So yeah, it's even though battlecruisers are really slow and you can't really kite with them because they fire so fast, they don't do like burst damage like Vikings do. It's still good to keep pulling the hurt ones back, because if you can survive the battle, you can just heal them back to full for free. So retaking a 3rd base and a 4th base here. And red is just taking his 2nd, and whoa, I missed something. How does harvester count get to 10? Hang on a sec. Okay, yeah, it looks like I had some Hellions here and I just sent them out. I could do the pick and pick thing, but I'll just review it again here. This is definitely something you should be attentive of when you're playing TBT if you're using my strategy. Anytime he doesn't have a planetary fortress, you can just obliterate his mining line with just a little bit of Banshee harass. And it's so good late game, because they're so spread out late game. The base gets so spread out late game that he can't defend everything. And Terran's not a mobile race anyways. It's not like he has like speedlings or mutas or something that fast, or be able to like warp in stuff at any base he feels like it. Yeah, so now it's 50/5, and even though this is a sloppy game for me, you can see it's over. So I guess I was going to talk about multiple tips, but I think the only one I really have is just make SCVs. God damn it. It's not hard. I mean, if you ever stockpile money, just queue it up to 5 with SCVs. I mean, I know pros say that's a terrible thing, but that's because they keep their money low. If you're not good enough to keep your money low, then queuing up guarantees perfect macro. It's we'll call it the lesser of two evils if they're talking about queuing up or just not producing whatsoever. And with this, we're going to end the game. Blue Flame Hellions actually do pretty well cleaning up the Marines as well as the battle cruisers. Oh, check out that one, 10 hit points, sweet. Yeah, way behind in my upgrades as well, but I had the armor, which is the most important one. That should cut the Marine damage, yep, from 7 down to 2. So that was my match versus Super Noob. That was game 2, so I beat him 2-0. Now we're going to hop into my match versus the High Masters player. And it's a best of 3 series as well.